Hello artists, how are you today? It's Stephanie Ani coming to you from the banks of the Trinity River here in Six Rivers National Forest near Willow Creek, California. Welcome to Masterclass. Woo! We're making the coffee table art book. We are working on Fred and Gertie's house. Fred and Gertrude, they've been around for a very long time. Now, as you'll see in the video, they were originally in swimsuits, and so I thought it would be a cool little beach house. But, you know, they just were really super transparent, actually, with this magazine. And I liked the transparency, but I wanted to put them into some really cute clothes. So I just built them some clothes. And notice the shading on how I used the Stabilo. And actually, guys, that's how Stabilo was intended to be used, is more of a shading tool instead of just a smearing tool. Yay! Now, this is a shaker window, as you can see. Gertie has some gorgeous flowers there, Gertrude. And I love how they're holding hands. Now, I doubt that we will get this far in today's video, but I did want to show you where it is heading. Yay! Fred and Gert took a little bit of time to do. Again, it was a gesso transfer with clear gesso over the back of the wallpaper, which was made out of scrapbook paper. That word just disappeared out of my brain. And the buttons have worked out really well. I have been working on making a little frame for her window. Here, I'll show you the details. See the frame for her window? Started right there. So, again, with Masterclass, we're taking our time. We're making our own little masterpieces. We're not rushing through this. It's craftsmanship, and that's what we're focusing on. And again, guys, any level can do this. You don't have to be a master craftsman to do it. It's more of, we're going to take our time and really kind of futz with it. It'll be cool. I promise you, we will have a lot of fun with this project and with this book. And you're going to impress yourself with what you can come up with if you give yourself permission to take the time to really, you know, play with it. I have every single confidence that you will be able to jump off from any of these starting points and make something that you love. So be sure that you're choosing images and thoughts that you can connect to. There is no reason for you to copy my things exactly. You need to find your inspiration, and the more heart that you can put into your artwork, the better it will be, truly, and the more gratifying. If you can sit back and look at it and go, oh wow, I did that. And look, see, now for me, Fred and Gertie, we'll just say this real quick. This is what I hope for in my life. I want a little purple house with my person that I can grow old with, and I can grow flowers in my house. So I'm putting me into everything that I'm doing these days. If I wouldn't want to receive it, then I'm going to keep working it until I would. And you just know that that's my level of quality for myself. Now, those of you that are just starting out, don't freak out. Please, we're learning, we're experimenting, we're playing. And every single piece of art that you do, every time that you do another piece of art, it will get better than the last one. That is the great thing about art. The more you practice, the better you get. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, and you'll be able to look back and see how you've progressed. You should have seen my first oil portrait. Oh God, when I got to Columbus College of Art and Design, oh, it was horrific. It was so bad, and I was looking at the other people, and I'm like, I'm a junior, and you guys are so much better than me. I get it. I really do. It was hard, especially when you're in that type of environment. So we're in a friendly space. We're going to practice. We're going to learn, and we're going to love it and enjoy it. So be sure that you are putting your heart into your work. Okay, here's the video. Please be sure to go ahead and put in the comments, like, comment, and add it to playlist if you want to be part of the drawing. And of course, all those rules are down in the comment section. Please let me know if you enjoy the series. I so much appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. Much love, guys. We will chat soon. Okay, Bye. Hello, artists. Okay. I don't know if I can do it. Can I do it? I think it will be more interesting if I do it that way. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I am gonna build up this window just a touch. What I didn't show you is I did take my paint pen and went through on the inner corners. I'll show you here this last little bit, but let's go ahead and do this first. Oh, somebody had asked me about Fabri-Tac and getting goopy on them. If your Fabri-Tac doesn't flow like this, this is how Fabri-Tac should work. If it's some sort of goopiness, it sounds to me like you have some old or semi-dried out Fabri-Tac. You know, the stuff up top will get kind of gooey and sticky. But I've personally never had an issue with Fabri-Tac getting goopy, so I don't really know. I can't answer that question for you on why your Fabri-Tac would be goopy. I would suggest getting a different bottle of it because it should work just like that. Nice and smooth, happy, beautiful, amazing glue. That's sticky. Now, these are coffee stir sticks. They're very thin, right? I don't want something that's going to be super thick, but what I'm doing is I'm building up the, as you can see, this has a bit of a warp to it here, as does this page. And I want to make sure that these stick down tight, and that I also am creating a little bit of breathing space in there for whatever I decide to use as my shaker in my window. I wonder how this got out. It's like all of a sudden these random things just show up on my desk or table. It's like, where the hell did that come from? So we're going to keep this floor line parallel here with this and this. Oh, that looks better. That's fun. Cool, interesting, and fantabulous. So see how the bright light is right there? That even gives it better. Parallel with this. The back wall. Yeah, artists, you're gonna laugh at this, but these two, this old couple at the beach, they are the cutest old couple. And I really love them. Now, I have picked out some other images for people standing in doorways. Now, these are a little bit large, so I would need to make them smaller. But, you know, these are all pretty cool. But I still think, out of them all, that these guys are my favorite because they have so much character. And the way they're holding each other's hand. I mean, here's the thing, is that I wish someday that I'll have my own little funky, wonky house, and I will have my person to grow old with. And that's what I want a lot in my life, you know? So, of course, what I'm going to do is, since this is a magazine image, I don't even know what magazine it's out of. I cut it out a long time ago. I, you know, don't want to just paste this down like this, although I could. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the gesso image transfer, because I think it really does do a lot to change the image. I think the white, I'm a little apprehensive about doing this beforehand, you know, before I get the rest of this done, but I just think they're adorable. And so I could use the white gesso back there. I could use the clear gesso. Which do I want to use? I think the white gesso gives it a little bit more character. You know, but this will all get, you know, colored and such. So let's go with the clear. They're going to have to be repositioned also and all of that. So let's get them in here. If I don't like how they look, I can always, always, always cover them up and put something else in those windows. I'm going to put that down fairly evenly and generously. All right, then we're going to flip that over. Trying not to get too much gesso on the other side. I'm sure that probably doesn't help anything. And then we're going to put this gesso down here. Another layer. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Another layer of gesso here. Because we want this to really be a strong, good bond. These two are awesome. Our old man, he's going to be standing in the doorway because it does get reversed. And she will be in the window, peeking out, I guess is the better way to say it. There we go. Okay. And his feet go somewhere just like that on that floor. And let's see where she's gonna go. We will reposition her as needed. Try not to get their arms all wonky. Be good. Let's see how they're fitting in here. I would love to see their little hands being held better, but I don't think I'll be able to move it. Can I move it? I can move it. Okay. So you might think it's a funny image. I think it's an adorable image. I love these two. You know, I don't use magazine images very often. They don't speak to me. And of course, we don't want to use other people's artwork just by cutting it out and pasting it down. Photography is somebody else's artwork. But when we do the image transfer and then we do our techniques over the top of it, it does end up changing it quite a bit. And I think those guys are going to be perfect in there. Just an old couple hanging out at the beach. So they'll be at their beach house. How about that? No air bubbles for our little guys. I think that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna go and set this outside to bake. And I'm not gonna touch it for 3 hours, hopefully, because I've got other things to do. So I'm working on numerous projects at once. I think they are super adorable. Can you jump down? Ozzy, jump down. Jump down. All right. Hello, artists. These guys have dried for a couple days because I went and worked on my other project, my 30x3 project. So I've been wanting to get back to them. They've had a super long time to dry. Oh, come on off of there. Remember, it had the layer of Mod Podge over the top of it, so let's see. Come on, woman. There she is. There she is. Okay. I guess let's put some water down and let that soak in here a little bit. Remember, we used the clear gesso on this. All right, all right, all right. This is just water in a squirt bottle. I think cool that looks. Her hair became really transparent. Now this is a magazine, so I think I've used color copies before off of my LaserJet. I don't know where I found these guys. I love that they are transparent like that, and that the wallpaper is coming through. How cool is that? I did not know that was going to happen. Oh boy. Let's see if we can get him to come in. And then I will put you on pause while I do this for the rest of their bodies. But it is kind of the big reveal here to get their faces to come up. Come on, buddy. Come on, Fred. Come back. Come on, Fred. Maybe Frank. Maybe his name will be Frank. I like Fred. Fred was the first name I came up with for him, so I don't know why. Oh, he did. He came up perfect. I love the fact that they're really going to have kind of this ghostly look in there. Completely unintended. But, so the magazine transfer, obviously, with this particular magazine, again, I have no idea which one it is. I would guess it's probably like a Nat Geographic or... is this from National Geographic? I don't know. I would guess maybe it is. Could be from anything, though. Oh. I love how well they are going to blend into this background. Okay, so I'm going to put you guys on fast forward, and I'm going to bring Fred and... what's a good name for her? What's a good name for her? She kind of looks like a Gertrude. My grandmother's name was Gertrude. Actually, let's call her Betty. Fred and Brady. Oh, Fred and Wilma, huh? Okay, guys. Well, the transfer didn't turn out as well as I had hoped. And I know I'm just being super fussy about it. However, they are positioned in here 100% perfectly. But I think that if we give Fred some cool trousers here, it would be really fun. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to give Gert a nice little dress here. Yes, yes we are. Fred and Gertie. What type of, I could use Mod Podge. Mod Podge and scrapbook paper don't really love each other very much. They just don't. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll put it down here with the Fabri-Tac. Put it down with the Fabri-Tac, and then I will probably put a coat of Mod Podge over the top of it. See that big glob of glick right there? That's what was holding up the issue. That, right there. Now, if you do this with your owl, clean it off. Because this is a good tool. Okay. And then be sure to stick your lid back on tight. Oh, look, we got airflow. It's beating again. All right. So I'm going to stick this down with Fabri-Tac, and then I'll go over the top of it with the Mod Podge to kind of make it all work out a little bit better. I don't know. I think I probably have to put a shirt on him, but I think it'd be really cute to just have him have these fun suspenders, fun pants with suspenders. I think that'd be pretty awesome. So I'm making my own little paper doll. And again, further transforming that image, which we always want to do. Never want to just glue and, you know, smear down an image that was somebody else's. You know, let's just make your art your art. Yep, I'm talking about it again. Well, I could have put that underneath. Let's see here. And I am doing fun shapes in here because why not? You know, do you need to cut out a piece of, you know, his pants in one piece? If you can, go for it. But, you know, there's really no reason to, you know, be that exacting with it. We don't want him to look like he's wearing a diaper, of course. We want him to look like he's kind of cool and hip. I think that's a good piece right there. Let's see. I think we can cut that a little bit here. I'm just looking for interesting shapes because we will probably go back and accentuate them a little bit. Is it giving it a paper doll feeling? Yes, absolutely. That's what we're going for. I didn't know that's what we were going to go for, but that's what ended up happening, so we're good with that. And even though we can see a little bit of his green shorts in there, we will, you know, come back in with our stabilo or whatever, or line work, whatever it takes to make him look cool and funky. Should I give him a wife beater? That'd be kind of fun. Now what type of dress do we want on old Gertie here? If that one's long enough, I love that fabric. It's perfect. It's perfect. Oh my gosh, the happy couple. All right, let's see what she's got going here. See if we can get her arm width first. So then here, I want the moon to be on her for sure. Should do this with pencil. I love them. And when it makes me smile, it'll make my viewer smile. And that's what's important to me. You know, if I'm doing something that's happy, I want it to be happy. I want people to feel that happiness. And these two make me very happy. I love them together. And there's something very magical about them. You know, you guys saw me make the, in my second altered book, I made the suit for the fellow, for the laughing fellow. So, you know, I'm not unfamiliar with this process at all. And I have a pretty good feeling for, you know, what belongs where, what cuts to make and things like that. Okay. So I want to give him a collar. And an open shirt. Why, I don't know, but he seems to me like he would wear it kind of open. Fred's kind of sly that way. Hmm. And if it's not your cup of tea, then don't do it. I don't care. Do what makes you happy. Right? People are under the impression that you need to copy whatever I'm doing. No, 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 no. You do what makes you happy. You see the techniques, and you build on those techniques, and you make your artwork your own. You should not be sitting there just copying anybody, because you don't learn from copying. You learn by experimenting. That's why in science class they have you take, you know, labs. You know, you don't sit there in art school and just copy whatever the teacher is doing. Oh, no, no, no. You guys have far more skill than that, and nobody should be treating you like your babies. Let's get out this guy here. We're going to adjust this just a touch. Okay, if you get too puffy of sleeve, it's going to look feminine. And we don't want Fred to look like a female. Okay, so now I've put my Stabilo down. It's an 8046. And I'm just going to come in with one of my fine paint brushes and one of my small ones here. We'll also use my stubby brush. Between those two, we should get a nice, good, fine line on this. I don't want this to smear everywhere. Oh, just like that. God, I don't want it to smear everywhere. Smear. too much water on the brush. There we go. I am wanting them to blend into their background a little bit more and to kind of make those clothes kind of work out together. That is my intention. Just want to make it all feel like it fits together. And the Stabilo is a great way to do that. As you guys know, I like a controlled line. I am not a fan of using spit on my artwork. I think it's disrespectful to the artwork as well as to the person who's going to be purchasing it in the future. So let's not do that. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. I don't care. I just think it's disgusting, so. And you don't get a very controlled line by using it that way. I like a controlled line. Not that this is done with its coloring, so I should probably tint that background a little bit more. Now, see how I have the control to kind of pull that out and around. I am purposely doing that. So where you want it, you can fuzz it. When you want it to be crisp, you can make it crisp. Not everything has to be random here. If you just are smudging it, it's honestly pretty lazy artwork. Sometimes it works out just fine, you know, but other times, you know, a little care. It goes a long, long, long ways. Now, do we want to give her a little shadow right there? Yeah, let's give her a little bit more shape. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to play with this. You guys don't need to watch this part. You know, we've seen how to use Stabilo. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this, and then we'll come back and hopefully start assembling. I love them. They make me very happy. Okay, we'll come back. Okay, I have our cutie little couple. I'm going to see if this works to keep things dated for myself as well as for you. That way it's a little bit easier. I'm trying to see if I can do this. I don't know if that's going to work out at all. Anyways, what I wanted to do was show you how to use Stabilo in a way that you can actually shade with it, which is part of the reason for Stabilo. It's a shading tool. Yes, it's not just for making, you know, a smoky finish to something. It is an actual tool that you can use to really create some great definition and fun shapes. Yeah, how cool is that? Now, I love how Fred and Gertie are turning out. I think they look pretty darn cute. Using my Stumpy brush. Now, if you haven't heard, this Stumpy brush was a long, flat brush, and I just cut off all of the bristles. I cut them off at an angle, too. So I have kind of a nice, sharp, chiseled point here. And if you have an old brush, repurpose it. Make a couple different ones. Find out what works best for you. A Stumpy brush has always been a good friend, and I've used it for about a year now. And again, you know, I don't like to get my glickiness all over my artwork, so there we go. We're just going to outline Gert's arm there just a little bit more. We're going to bring this shadow in here just a little bit more. Yes. I'm going to do a little shading right there. We're going to bring a little shade in right in there. I just want that all to kind of blend together. Now, you're not going to see her super well. She's going to be behind the window, but I want to make sure that she looks good before I go to the next stage, because that's the type of artist that I am. I like to make sure that things are where I want them to be before I start to build up on top of it. Okay, I love where they are at right now. I'm going to define his little shirt there just a little bit more. Right there. Aren't they just adorable? Oh my gosh. They were cute before, but I love her dress. I love his outfit. They are super quirky. They have lived in this home for a long time. They are becoming a part of the home. We're gonna put a little bit of shadow underneath of them here. One thing I wanted to do real fast, bring this shadow forward, make this foot kind of sit in here a little bit more. So it's not quite as noticeable that it's, you know, not super, you know, it's pretty primitive looking right there. I don't hate that it looks primitive. I just want to blend it more. There we go. And by blending it, it just makes it feel like it's, you know, more on the floor of the house. Let's make a definite transition there to that back wallpaper. And a transition over here to this back. Don't really want it as much in front because the sunlight will be coming through the door. So if we think about that, then we need to kind of have that a little bit more cleared off here. There. Look at how awesome that looks. Oh, very much so. That needed to be done. Look at that dimension that we just created by creating that little shadow back in there, in the pant leg itself. And we look, and it's little adjustments, but the little adjustments make a difference. All right, let's grab out the archival ink. I want to do archival here. Let's see what happens when we bring in a little bit of this sunshine. Now, try not to get it too much into the Stabilo. It will make a little bit of a mess. It's going to make it a little bit of a browner color. That's okay with me. You know, going for a vintage look here. Now, I did this without even realizing why I grabbed yellow. Opposite of red is green, and then our harmonious colors, this kind of yellow-green to our yellow. So it all kind of works together without even realizing I was doing it. Now I know I said I wanted something gray back there, but I also want to feel like these guys are in sunlight and that they're happy. And if people are just in a gray environment, it doesn't feel very happy. And when you start with gray, this yellow will never be bright, obnoxious yellow, just by the rules of color. Although these archival inks are super intense, they are really awesome. Let's come over it though now with a little bit of the Forget-Me-Not. Yeah, that's perfect. So we're not trying to put one single color anywhere. We are trying to blend them. Now the Forget-Me-Not, you can go into the Stabilo a little bit more, and this will allow it to blend. You see that variety right there? That's what we're going for. We're not going to see the bottom of her dress, but we're going to go ahead and color some of that anyway. Just kind of reinforcing the shadows that we already have. And sips it over. This little coffee. Love that. All right, let's grab a clean brush right here. See if I can get a little bit of that glick off of her face. A little bit of that is due to the transfer, but a little bit probably is due to the Stabilo. Sure to push out and not in, because if you pull all of this stuff in, you're going to get it all over them. Now, see how that just came up to be a white color? That's perfect, because that's going to bring attention to her face. And we're going to do the same thing here with Fred. The highest contrast, the whitest whites, is going to be where your face or your eyes go naturally. So let's use that to our advantage. And of course the yellows will bring us into their little bodies. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Now, are they not 100% absolutely adorable? Oh my gosh. All right, so it is time to do some construction here. Now, what I'm worried about is the bowing of the book. But I think I have it pretty good here with the way that this, remember I put these popsicle sticks in here, so I think we can get a pretty good connection. Okay. I'm not going to worry about it on this door side because it doesn't need it. But let's grab our paint pen. This is a Tester's enamel paint marker. You could use a Sharpie, you know, just use something that you have some control over. Let's go through and really make sure our edges are nice and dark. Could also do this with an ink pad, possibly. I want a nice dark crisp edge here for the elements that I'm going to put into the shaker window. That we don't want. God. Little drops, okay. I'm not concerned about that, but big old glob, no globs. And that's just fine there. Nice little edging there, that's good. We'll go ahead and do that.